I once had an acting coach who said that the object of the game of acting is to get your audience to care. Like, I mean, if you're going to tell a story, it has to have a reason. Like, what is the reason for the story existing? And that's why I make music. It's to tell the story. And I mean, that's why people dance. Like, that's why people make movies. That's why people make, you know, that's why people take pictures and paint. Like, that's why art exists. Like, art is a story. And this is my story. I make music because I care about my audience. I care about the people that I tell the story to, because the story is for them. Like, I want them to understand who they are. I want to remind them of something that they've forgotten. I want to tell them a story that they either already know or they don't already know. Like, this is all an inspiration. Like, I want my audience to take off the headphones and realize, wow, it's not so bad. Or, wow, I need to fix my life. Or, like, I want this is an encouragement. Like, this is how I encourage. This is my gift too. The last time I checked, as long as you were talented, your talents are a gift. And gifts are meant to be given, so this is what I give. That's why I make music. The point I was trying to make with the EP, actually it wasn't my EP, it was your EP, Zach. You were the one who got me into it. I think it's funny, these are actually just a collection of songs and poems that I had in my laptop for a couple years. So, and this was actually the awakening of a whole bunch of words on a digital screen now in your headphones at home, guys. So,
yay!
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is, hey, audience, you want to step into my brain? Welcome, come on in. Like, these are the things that I think about. Like, these, like, a lot of the imagery, a lot of the metaphors, a lot of the symbolism in my songs and poems. I want to get people to start thinking outside the box and start thinking about, oh wow, like, this actually does in fact apply to me. Like, this is a story, this is something that I can relate to, you know what I mean? So that was the point. That was the point of the EP, to wake up and to welcome people into my crazy little brain. I wrote the poem Tongue a couple years ago, actually, after an interaction with one of my girlfriends. Do you ever meet a person who's like just talking, and they don't really shut up? That was her. Actually, I also wrote Tongue because during that time, I actually had a bunch of sores on my tongue, and I was like, this is annoying. And so then I whipped out my journal and I started journaling. Like, it all started as a journal entry, and then it became so poetic and so symbolic. I was like, forget this, I'm actually gonna make this into a poem. I don't know why. It was actually one of the first poems that I ever wrote because I was so inspired by a life thing. Like, I mean, there are so many people who will make these declarations and just talk that is as meaningful as ashes. And I kind of just word vomited all over a page. Or at the end of the poem, I sang, I wanna hear your voice, I wanna hear your voice. But it was all improvised. And at the end, I started singing about how I wanted to hear a voice. And I think the voice that I did want to hear was either God's voice or the voice of silence. One of the most romantic lines in any song is "Run away with me." Run away with me. You wanna run away? The whole story of Sherlock is kind of, you know, the moment right before something happens between you and that little sweet someone. Do you ever meet a person who you're attracted to, but you don't really know whether or not something is gonna happen between the two of you? That's what Sherlock is. It's kind of like, okay, this like mysterious guy, I wanna figure you out. I'm Sherlock Holmes, I'm gonna solve this mystery, I'm gonna crack this case open, and you're dead, because I got you. Blind Deaf Dancer was inspired by a boy, of course, I dated him for like not that long at all, probably a week. And it didn't take long for me to realize that he was just so inadequate for me. He was just not good enough for me at all. And I was like, okay, goodbye. Yeah, and so the thing is, the blind deaf dancer is both of us. Like, we're both the blind deaf dancer. And the thing is, he's a bit of a wallflower, and he's afraid because he knows that he's blind. He knows that he's deaf. He knows that he's inadequate. He knows that he's not good enough for me. And the thing is, I know that I'm not good enough either, but that doesn't stop me from dancing. Like, that doesn't stop me from, dancing out onto the starlit floor. And the thing is, actually, the dancer who's not blind or deaf is God. And I'm being led by God. I'm being led by this spirit. And he's like alone. He doesn't have the guide. My parents have this piano at their house, and I just sat there one day and I started like messing around. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this instrument. And like, the Apple started as a dedication to one boy, but it actually evolved into a dedication to all men. You know what I mean? It kind of became this, like, come on guys, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Like, get your life together, because you're making us all look bad. I like the image of, I like the image of Adam and Eve in the garden, and a liar's lie is still believed. I mean, it's kind of, it represents the entire fall of man. Like, all of humanity is flawed, and all of us are not perfect. And our lives blow up like hand grenades, but you have to be an adult. Like, you have to, we're far too old to be living like children. Like, it's time to become a man, and it's time to like grow up, and it's time to take responsibility for your actions. And then, of course, like, I realized as I'm writing this song, wow, I'm being mean. Like, I'm like stabbing this guy in the heart right now. But I still believe in him. And that's how I wanted to end the song, with like a positive note saying, you know what, I never doubted you. And I still don't doubt you. And I still believe in you. Like, I mean, you have completely blown your life up, but I will always believe in you. I will always believe in you. And it's like, even though nobody else believes in you, you gotta start believing in yourself too. So I wrote Apple as an inspiration to, like, yes, you blew your life up. It doesn't end there. It doesn't end with that. Oh my gosh. Dave Prescott has this incredible studio. It far exceeded all of my expectations. Like, I had no idea that it would be as nice as it was. I was like, should I be here? I'm not a good musician. What am I doing here? Do we have to pay him? So, we recorded Apple first. Oh gosh. And like I said, I am not a pianist at all. So I'm in there like recording it, and he's just like, do you need me to turn on a metronome? And I was like, yeah, turn on a metronome. And so I'm playing this song to a metronome, and he's like, don't speed up. Tina, don't speed up. Tina, do you need me to turn the metronome up? And I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't play piano, I play guitar. But I think Apple ended up being the best song that went out of that studio that day. It was the best. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we recorded Sherlock. We recorded it old school style. We recorded it from start to finish with no gaps. And so I'm recording it wanting to sing along, but I'm not singing along. I'm just like, bad. It was a train wreck. And so, of course, like at the very, very end, when I finally got it right, I say, that's it! And then it's in the recording. Like, you can hear it at the end.
Yeah.
I got to meet Grant. Grant's a cool guy. Yeah, I got to meet a cool guy. I got to meet Dave. Yeah, I got to work with Tokyo Cigar, which was quite an experience. Yeah, the entire endeavor was actually so fast. Everything happened so fast. I mean, I met Tokyo Cigar because one of my best friends is his sister. So she introduced me. She was like, you've got to meet Tokyo Cigar. You've got to meet my brother. And he's like this great guy, and he records, and you should totally record with him. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I got to hear some of his music. I was like, so he doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. Okay. all right, I'll give him a try. And then somehow we ended up, I don't even know how it happened. Like we got each other's email or something, and then we started talking, going back and forth just a little bit. Actually, I think the first time I ever met Tokyo Cigar, I was wearing this shirt, and he was like, yeah, she's cool. Yeah, she's cool. And so then, there goes our relationship, and it was all history from there. And so now here we are making a stupid little interview here at Lake Elkhorn.